The Matrix has attacked.
The Matrix! Listen, Andrew Tate was right. The Matrix has decided to attack us. We have been f***ed over by government agents. What do you think about the UK business booming? What do you think, my boy?
That's not what's happening. That is what's being told about everywhere, but honestly, that's not what's happening. Now, listen.
Okay, so hold on. For the people that just don't know, again, we're in the UK. Sometimes I feel like we need to remind ourselves we are in the UK, and some people might not know. Essentially, what this comment is about our dear Lord Prime Minister saying that business in the UK is booming. Now, riddle me this: in all these pictures that you see on the screen right now, how is business booming when all of these businesses are closing down? And before you say that these are just pictures of the internet, these are pictures from me and Dennis that we just randomly took as we were walking through our cities.
Yeah, but now let us be fair, like, these are just our cities, like mine and yours. So, we have this common friend that lives somewhere else and he keeps saying how the price of food is lower than before, how everything is going well, phenomenal, like it's raining candies rainbows in the sky. Man, I don't know. That is my thing. I have no idea how to live in a parallel reality to know from me.
Where is this cheap food that I'm talking about? Everything that I know in terms of the food that I generally eat has gone up. Bro,
absolutely.
Beef feels like it's made of gold nowadays. And that's crazy. That's insanity. My chicken
diamonds.
breast, that used to be £4.50 a kilogram, bro. In the bumper packs.
Yeah, but now, man, yeesh. The only thing I can say,
like the eggs are okay, but like even though they're more expensive than they used to be.
Not in my area. In my area, they've become so expensive. At one point, you could only buy a pack of 6 eggs for what, £3.60? The prices went crazy. The price was absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But things went better. Things did go better.
Yeah, I guess they improved, but you cannot tell me that business is booming when so many of them are being forced to close down. And I know that this is just within our cities, but I'll be honest, I'm not gonna dox anyone, but we don't live in very suburban areas. Not really.
Yeah.
Especially, you know where I live. I don't live in the suburbs, and shit's closing down.
Yeah.
So, what in the absolute, how in the absolute can you say that when the taxes are at the highest level that they've ever been in their life? At the lowest point, you're getting taxed. 30% of your bank is gone. 30% of it is gone.
The thing, man. I have to say,
that's the scam.
I forgot my hat. I'm sorry. Now it's gone. The moment is gone. Next time I'm gonna put my hat on. But sorry, coming back to the point.
Continue.
What I wanted to say is that at least on the high street, the literal town center, shops have closed and reopened like 3 times over. Like there's been
also,
some shops.
Well done for doxing yourself.
Can you bleep it out, please? Oh my god. Can you bleep me out, please? Oh, I didn't realize it. What I wanted to say, thank God we're not live. What I wanted to say is that where I live, shops have closed and reopened like 3 times over in several places. And things are not going well. I don't want to get into too much details, but there's been so many big shops, big brands. If you live in the UK, everyone knows Next. It's a pretty famous clothing shop. Yep. There's been River Island. That place used to be River Island, then it closed down, it became Next, then it closed down, now it's becoming something else. There's been charities, there's been so many shops that have started, closed down, changed it again, all in the span of what, 3 years? No, 3 years is much. 2 years, damn.
Yep. And I want to just address this point really quickly with the taxes, because I just think it's ludicrous. People think that the tax in the UK is 20% at the lowest threshold, and then 40% at the higher threshold, and then 45% at the highest threshold. That's such cap. Because at the lowest threshold, sure, taxing alone is 20%, but add in national insurance,
then it goes
and now you've
way
increased
higher.
it to 30.
33%,
You've increased it to 30. Yeah. Now, okay, I will give credit to our good old chancellor, I think Jeremy Jeremy Hunt is what his actual name is, but I'm just gonna call him Jeremy Hunt. Anyway, he has reduced national insurance by 2%. A wowsly 2%. Could you believe it?
Wow.
But you know what this also did? He froze the tax brackets for the next 10 years, therefore putting the maddest stealth tax that you could have ever seen in your life.
Explain, please. Go ahead.
You should understand better than me. If
Yeah,
the
no,
tax
just
brackets
dive
are
in.
frozen, if the tax brackets are frozen, you know what that doesn't account for? Inflation. So essentially, we have the low. Okay, essentially in the UK, you have a tax bracket under which you don't get taxed, which is 12,570. So if you earn less than 12,570, you don't get tax shit. Then,
Oh, that's what you're referring to. I see what you mean now. Yeah, I see
to
what you mean.
45,000 or 53,000, the tax bracket again increases, and so on and so forth. But if these things are frozen, which means they don't get adjusted for inflation, you have essentially stealth taxed the whole of the country by not saying anything. And that to me is the scummiest thing I've ever seen. Now, mind you, these taxes are the highest that they've ever been in 50 years.
Yeah, but that's the
50
thing.
years these taxes haven't been this ludicrous.
When is the last time we've heard about taxing going down, man? Taxes going down.
I have no idea. I didn't even know that was a thing. I just thought that was a fairy tale.
No, I
Okay,
think
I don't think that that's ever happened, and I don't even recall something like that going on. That's crazy.
something else that I'm willing to dive into, however, is how literally people do keep politicians, do keep open doors wherever they can, so that they can get away with taxes as much as they can. Literally the same thing that's happening in all other countries. Italy with mafia, yeah, guess what? It's the same thing happening here. Romania, again, same thing. Just, it's done a little bit more, how can I say it?
Subtly?
Subtly, yes, subtly, yeah. It's done a little bit more subtly, and it's sold as, oh yeah, it's good for everybody. We're doing this for the betterment of the British government. But actually, it does happen exactly the same thing here with, oh, actually, I know this cousin who is an engineer. Let me get this job to him. You know what I mean?
Yes, right.
It does happen the exact same thing as everywhere around the world.
And the thing
Same
is, people
happened
might
in
be
the US, same
wondering,
happened in the UK.
people might be wondering, why is it that we're talking about taxes in the situation about the economy? Is because lower taxes, whether we like to admit it or not, do attract businesses. Because why would a business move to a country which has high, exorbitant taxes? Why would you go there when you could go to Dubai, where there is 0% taxation on any? Now, admittedly, I'm not gonna suck there too much because their prices are also apparently crazy high. But I'll be honest, I feel less robbed if I have to pay more for something, but at least I know that this money is not just being taken from me because XD.
Man, the thing is, this money moves through the economy. This is.
Check, 1, 2, let's go. What's up? Take 2 of this bullshit. I'm gonna leave that in, by the way.
Are you ready now?
I'm gonna leave that in. I'm leaving that in.
Leave it in.
People need to know. So, just go in.
The Matrix has attacked.
The Matrix! Listen, Andrew Tate was right. The Matrix has decided to attack us. We have been f***ed over by government agents whilst we were doing our speech against their corruption and the blue pill Matrix. They decided to shut Dennis's phone down. They didn't want us to talk. Understand it. Listen, they are coming. You are their next target. Beware.
Yo, you're really diving in, aren't you?
Listen. Yo, I understand why Tate does it now. That was fun. That shit was entertaining. Yo, you know what? That's
Man,
fun.
yes it is, but still. You know, there's so many things we have to touch on. So many things that we left in the blank before the Matrix attack.
I just think it was the business expenses that were the maddest of them all. Essentially, the fact that you can claim so much stuff back on business expenses. The way that business expenses work is that they reduce how much you get taxed, essentially. And it works specifically for self-employed people and businesses. So that's why they're so underappreciated. Is because through putting these things on business expenses, you are basically allowing yourself to pay less taxes than you should normally pay. What was the example that you were going to use?
So the example that I want to use is about the car. So if you just think about it, so many people who use the car regularly, say for example, a pizza driver, say that maybe he doesn't really do anything else with the car aside from delivering his pizza. Anyway, so one could argue that, listen, because I'm using this car 90% of the time just for delivering the pizza, I'm going to deduct this as a 90% proportion as a business expense. You can do the same with the phone. If you're using the phone mostly for business reasons, then just deduct as much as you can as the business expense. That way, instead of accounting for the money that you receive from the business as being, I don't know, say that you receive £5,000 a month, you get paid a lot. Out of these £5,000, however, you have to spend £500 every single month for fuel because fuel prices go up. Let's say that is the amount. So for the government, you would actually only be paid 4,500 because 5,500 is specifically just for business expense for the fuel. That way you get deducted less tax. Sorry, whatever. I'm too mad to think.
Went too in depth in that.
I went way too in depth. Yeah.
And the thing is, in my opinion, with the businesses, they are a really good indicator as to whether or not the economy is thriving. If more businesses open up, it means the economy is thriving because people are spending money to the point where opening a business is a no-brainer. But if businesses are closing down because the economy is going down the shitter, why are they closing down? Because there is no money influx. Why? Because the people are broke!
Yes, but listen, man, the British economy was going fairly well before. I'm not going to dive into all the other things, but
bro, I'm gonna have to bleep out that shit.
I'm sorry, yeah, bleep it out. But before certain things that have happened throughout recent times. However, we are simply not taught these things at school, yeah? Like, you can deduct the mileage, you can deduct the insurance, you can deduct part of the car's worth as a business expense because of simply how much you're using the car for the work.
Do you know why?
Ugh.
Do you know why they don't teach you?
Why?
It's because they want to keep you plugged inside the matrix.
Man, you know what? There was un mod de zice. I forgot what it was. And don't tell me you don't feel it because you are red. I don't know how it is on your side of the camera, but on my side you are red.
I'm always red, so it doesn't say much.
That is fair,
Also,
that is fair.
Man,
good blood.
Listen, it's because I'm red pill and you're blue pill. That's why it's simple as that. I'm gonna leave that in.
Cuffs, wage cuffs. That's what the expression was, something like that. As in, you're being jailed by, or wage jail, something like that. The fact that because you depend on your money, you cannot risk it with opening a business, or you can't risk trying something that you could earn, you could get more money through it. Whatever. I don't know. I bought it. I burned it. Whatever.
Dennis
Thank you, everyone. Like and subscribe. Have a good night. We cannot say that there is not corruption in the UK. That is absolutely not true. That's a lie that I've been told when I came in. I trusted it, but that's not true. And I lived.
Elaborate.
Oh my God. So, okay.
Go on.
I don't want to dive too deep into it because it's
Dive
a
deep
whole.
into it.
No, it's a whole can of worms that I'm just not willing to open right now. But the whole health industry, which is what I work in, it's so much easier for people who got contacts in it. So much easier. I don't want to dive too deep into it. But there's some people that have it much easier than others, and there's some people that I've tried several times to get a stronger footing into the industry, and they cannot do it. They cannot do it simply because it is a maze to get through. No. So you're told one thing when you try to start the process. Then as you continue the process, it changes. And it changes every year. And the whole process of getting a registration to get through with what you're trying to do in the health industry, if you need to get registered with the CQC, it takes like 7 months, something like that. Like it takes an outrageous amount of time for you to get through it, and in the time that you get through it, things keep changing. By the time you try to get through it, things have changed. You are not up to date with the current documentation anymore, and you have to restart it again.